Ladies and gentlemen, my friends, let me start with a simple question. What if today is the most powerful day of your life, and you don't even know it? Now, I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me for a moment. Because the truth is, most of us live our lives trapped between two thieves, yesterday and tomorrow. Yesterday steals our peace with regrets, guilt, and if-onlys. Tomorrow steals our focus with anxiety, fear, and endless what-ifs. And caught between these two thieves, we forget the only place where life actually happens, today. Let me tell you a story. Years ago, I had a friend. Let's call him Daniel. Daniel was one of those guys who always had big dreams. He wanted to start a business, write a book, travel the world, fall in love, the whole package. And every time I'd ask him, "So, when are you going to do it?" He'd smile and say, "Someday." You know this word, right? Someday. It's the land of all our dreams. Someday I'll be healthier. Someday I'll call my parents. Someday I'll learn that skill, take that trip, fix that relationship, chase that dream. But here's the problem with someday. It doesn't exist. Look at your calendar right now. You'll find Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but never someday. Years later, Daniel's life looked pretty much the same. His someday never came. And sadly, for a lot of people, it never will. Not because they don't have the potential, not because they don't have time, but because they keep waiting for a perfect future that doesn't exist. The truth is, the only day we ever have is today. The present moment, a fierce teacher. Here's a confession. I used to be a world-class procrastinator. I'd push everything to the future. Diet starts Monday. Project starts next month. Happiness starts after this one more milestone. And guess what? Life kept passing by while I sat there waiting for some grand moment to begin. But life is stubborn. It doesn't wait. It keeps moving. And one day, life slapped me across the face. My grandfather passed away. He was one of those tough, hard-working men who always said, "I'll rest later. I'll spend more time with the family when I'm done working. I'll travel when I retire." Guess what? Retirement never came. Later never came. His someday vanished in the blink of an eye. That day, I understood something powerful. Tomorrow is never promised. All we truly have is today. Now, maybe you're thinking, okay, fine, today is important. But what can I really do in a single day? Let me tell you, a lot. Because life doesn't happen in decades. It doesn't happen in years. It doesn't even happen in months. Life happens in days, in today. Think about it. Want to lose weight? You don't lose 30 pounds in a week. You make today's choice, salad instead of fries. A walk instead of the couch. Want to build a business? You don't create an empire overnight. You make today's call. Send today's email. Take today's risk. Want to heal a relationship? You don't fix everything in one conversation. But you can make one call today, send one message today, say, "I'm sorry today." Today is not small. Today is not insignificant. Today is the building block of your entire life. Here's another trap. People think they need to feel ready before they act. But let me be real with you. You're never going to feel 100% ready. The truth is, readiness is a lie. Nobody wakes up one day magically ready to chase their dreams. You become ready by starting. Action creates clarity. Motion creates momentum. Think of a rocket launch. The rocket doesn't wait until every little condition is perfect. It launches even while things are shaking, even while the astronauts are terrified. And once it's in motion, then it stabilizes. That's how life works. You don't wait until you're fearless. You act while you're scared. You don't wait until you know it all. You act while you're learning. You don't wait for someday. You act today. Let me share a few stories that prove the power of today. J.K. Rowling. She was a single mom, broke, struggling. She didn't say, "Someday I'll write." She took the little time she had that day, scribbled on napkins, wrote in cafes. One day after another. And suddenly we had Harry Potter. Colonel Sanders, at age 65, broke and rejected over 1,000 times. He didn't wait for another life. He knocked on doors that day until someone said yes. That persistence gave us KFC. Malala Yousafzai. As a young girl in Pakistan, she stood up that day to fight for education, even when her life was threatened. That courage changed the world. You see, greatness doesn't start someday. It starts with one day, today. I know what some of you might be thinking. Okay, but what if today is boring? What if today feels ordinary? Here's the thing. Ordinary days create extraordinary lives. We romanticize big moments, graduations, weddings, awards, breakthroughs. But what really shapes us are the small, consistent, ordinary days. The choices no one sees, the habits you repeat, the conversations that seem small but leave echoes in your heart. Think about it. Love is not built in grand gestures. It's built in small moments, every day. Success isn't built in one big win. It's built in small wins, every day. Growth doesn't come in a lightning bolt. It comes in daily practice, daily effort, daily courage. So never underestimate today, because one day you'll look back and realize those small todays were actually the most important days of your life. I want to take you back to a memory. There was a time in my life when I was struggling, financially, emotionally, spiritually. I'd wake up and feel this heavy weight of failure. And I kept thinking, one day, things will get better. One day, I'll figure it out. But the truth? That one day wasn't coming. Not until I made a choice to use the day I already had. So one morning, I looked in the mirror and asked myself, what can I do with just today? Not with my whole life. Not with the next 5 years. Just today. And the answer was simple. I could write one page. I could exercise for 20 minutes. I could reach out to one person. I could do one thing. That day I did it. And then I did it again the next day. And the next. Slowly, the weight started to lift. Slowly, my life began to change. Not because I had some grand plan, but because I respected the power of today. Here's the truth, my friends. We don't know how many todays we have left. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. Think about it. If you only had 24 hours left, what would you do? You'd say the things you've been holding back. You'd chase the dream you've been delaying. You'd hug the people you love. You'd live. So why not do that now? Why not live with that urgency today? Because the tragedy is not that life is short. The tragedy is that we wait too long to actually live it. So here's my challenge to you. Before you go to bed tonight, do one thing. Just one. That brings you closer to the life you want. It doesn't have to be big. Make that call. Take that walk. Write that page. Speak that truth. Because small steps today become giant leaps over time. Today is not just another square on the calendar. It is a blank canvas painted with the colors of your choices, your courage, and your willingness to step into possibility even when fear whispers otherwise. We often underestimate what can be done in a single day. Yet history has been shaped by days when ordinary people decided to stand up, speak out, or take one brave step that rippled across generations. When you wake up in the morning, you are not merely starting another cycle of routine. You are being handed a sacred opportunity to rewrite your story, to mend what was broken, and to water the seeds of a future you have only dreamed about. Today carries a subtle but powerful reminder that no matter how badly you stumbled yesterday, no matter how lost you felt last week, you can always begin again with a fresh page right here, right now. The beauty of today is that it doesn't ask you to climb the entire mountain. It only asks you to take one step. And if you can take one step today, you can take another tomorrow, and soon the summit will not feel so impossible. Today is proof that you are alive, breathing, and capable of doing something meaningful, while millions who once wished for just one more sunrise no longer have that privilege. The greatest trap of the human mind is convincing ourselves that happiness and fulfillment exist somewhere in a distant tomorrow, when in reality both are waiting quietly in the choices we make today. If you give today your full attention and your full heart, you will realize that the smallest acts, a smile, a kind word, a decision to try again, carry the potential to change not only your life, but someone else's. Today teaches us humility because it reminds us we cannot control the past, and we cannot guarantee the future, but we can choose to live authentically in the only space that belongs to us completely. The tragedy is not in having few days left, but in letting countless days slip through our fingers unnoticed because we were too busy regretting yesterday or worrying about tomorrow. Each today is like a coin, small in size, easy to ignore, but if invested wisely, it builds a fortune of joy, growth, and memories that no one can ever take away. To honor today means to honor your life, because this 24-hour slice of time is the very stage upon which every laugh, every tear, every victory, and every lesson will play out. When you recognize the power of today, you stop waiting for permission, you stop waiting for guarantees, and you realize that your future is not something you enter. It's something you build brick by brick, day by day. Today whispers a truth we often avoid. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to have it all figured out. You simply need to begin where you are with what you have. The smallest action today, a journal entry, a phone call, a promise kept, can become the thread that weaves into the fabric of your destiny years from now. Too many of us carry our yesterdays like heavy luggage, but today offers us the chance to set it down, breathe freely, and move forward lighter than before. If you plant seeds today, you may not see the tree tomorrow, but you guarantee that something will grow, and growth is always better than standing still. Today is an invitation to be present with the people who matter most, because no amount of success tomorrow will replace the memories you could have created today. Every today you waste in hesitation becomes a yesterday you cannot get back, which is why urgency should not come from fear, but from the love of life itself. Today is the only space where miracles can happen, because miracles require action, attention, and faith in the present moment, not in the vague someday. By embracing today fully, you learn that greatness is not an event, but a rhythm of showing up consistently, like waves that reshape the shoreline little by little. Today carries the rare gift of choice. You can repeat the patterns that keep you stuck, or you can break them and step into a new chapter that starts the moment you decide. If you can love today, its messiness, its imperfections, its unpredictability, you will find that life is less about chasing happiness and more about noticing that happiness is already here. Today is powerful because it gives you clarity. When you strip away yesterday's weight and tomorrow's illusions, what's left is the raw truth of who you are and what you can do in this moment. Ultimately, the power of today is this. It is the bridge between who you were and who you are becoming, and whether you cross it or not is entirely up to you. Let me leave you with this. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not promised. All you truly have is today. So honor it. Use it. Live it. Don't waste it waiting for a perfect moment. Make today the moment. Because one day, when you look back, you'll realize the power of your life was never hidden in some distant future. It was always right here, in your hands, in your choices, in today. Thank you.